We'll go ahead and close that item and move on to our 6.4, or 905, presentation of proclamation designating March 2025 as Social Worker Appreciation Month in Lake County. And Vice Chair Rasmussen will be reading this proclamation. And if you're here for this item, please come up and stand with the Vice Chair.
Got everybody?
That's everybody.
A proclamation designating the month of March 2025 as Social Worker Appreciation Month. Whereas people have entered the social work profession for generations because they generally care about helping improve the welfare of people, families, communities, and our nation. And whereas this year's Social Work Month theme, Social Work, Compassion, Action, embodies the fact that social workers go through years of education and training so that they have the skills and expertise to transform their care for others into action that brings positive results. And whereas the social work profession has worked for generations to improve living conditions in our nation, with social workers successfully pushing for Social Security, a 40-hour work week, Medicare, minimum wage, and whereas social workers have helped this nation live up to its values by successfully advocating for equal rights for all people, no matter their race, sexual identity, gender expression, culture, or religion. And whereas social workers follow a code of ethics which sets as the primary mission of the social work profession the enhancement of human well-being and meeting the basic human needs of all people, with particular attention to the needs and empowerment of those who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. And whereas the social work profession is one of the fastest growing professions in the United States, with more than 800,000 people expected to be employed as social workers by 2033. And whereas social workers work in all parts of our society, including schools, social service agencies, veteran centers, and government, helping people, families, and communities secure services and policies they need to thrive. And whereas social workers are at the forefront of pressing issues our nation is addressing, including increased needs for mental health care, especially for children and adolescents, and substance use disorder treatment, and increased economic and political division. And whereas social workers are one of the largest groups of mental health care providers in the United States and are pressing for social work interstate licensing compact that will improve mental health care and delivery in our nation. And whereas social workers help protect millions of children from abuse and neglect, provide services and support, which helps strengthen families that are under stress, and help create new families through adoption. And whereas research proves the presence of social workers in schools, hospitals, and assisted living facilities improve education and health outcomes and quality of life for students, patients, and residents. And whereas social workers continue to stand ready to assist our nation in overcoming present and future challenges, including ending gun violence, improving health care and mental health care for all, and urging lawmakers to adopt immigration reforms. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed in recognition of the numerous contributions made by Lake County social workers that the Lake County Board of Supervisors hereby declares the month of March 2025 as Social Worker Appreciation Month in Lake County, and calls upon all citizens to join in the celebration and support of social work profession. Passed and adopted this 4th day of March 2025, signed by the Chair, E.J. Crandall.
Thank you, Supervisor Rasmussen, and thank you, Board. I just want to take a minute to acknowledge our social workers. Here with me, we have some social workers from Lake County Social Services, but as the proclamation said, there are social workers throughout our community. I want to commend them all for the work they do every day. It is not easy. In social services, we have adult protective services, IHSS social workers, child protective social workers, and employment services social workers. As the proclamation said, they're out there protecting our families, our children, the elderly in our community, helping people become self-sufficient. So in acknowledgement of everyone in our community serving as a social worker, I want to commend you all and thank you personally for the work you do. I'm Rachel Dillman Parsons, Social Services Director.
Thank you. Hi, Amy Schmansky. I'm the Deputy Director over the Adult Services Branch. And as I sit here listening to the proclamation for, I'm not sure how many times now, I can't help but think about when I started as a social worker and how for me it was just my small world, we'll call it. You know, keeping my head down, doing my cases and working the cases and not really thinking much of it because that was the job. But as I've moved up through supervision and various levels of management, I realize, as I see it from the other side, you know, how hard it is, how there's just so much going on and the increased need, maybe since pandemic, and our ever-increasing senior population, the caseloads are growing. The work is more challenging, and yet I still see social workers every day putting their nose down, doing the same thing, and just getting the work done with grace and compassion and integrity. And so I just wanted to take a minute while we're here today to acknowledge that and say that I appreciate them. I appreciate the work that's done, whether they're here with me in the room today, watching on Zoom, or out in the field helping those very people. I appreciate them, and I see you. I appreciate you, and I can't be more humbled to be part of your team. And so today's for you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment? And then, yes, we will take a picture too. I just wanted to say real quick before we get into the pictures that I appreciate the work that you do. As a product of social services growing up, my mother had me at a really young age. And so having empathy, having that representation, being able to understand the predicament that folks are in, not to mention also, child protective services, having that under your, under your purview as well is very important, especially in this county. We have a really, indigent, county when it comes to in need and whatnot. And so with that, we really count on your department and you all to do the work that you do. And again, I appreciate it because I come from that. And so I appreciate the work you do. And I look to you for your guidance when it comes to this. And I appreciate your guidance as it is. So thank you. Mm-hmm. All right. So it's picture time. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Megan Morgan. I'm here from Lake County Behavioral Health Services on behalf of Director Elise Jones. She's very sorry she couldn't be here today, but she did have some words that she wanted to share. In the quiet moments and the chaos alike, and the light... Okay. I'm going to start over. In the quiet moments and the chaos alike, in the light of hope and the shadow of despair, there stands the social workers, unseen by many, but to those they serve, a lifeline, a light, and a guide. Theirs is not just a profession, but a calling, a divine purpose written in the language of service, where hands uplift the weary, hearts bear the burdens of others, and voices speak for those long unheard. They walk where the world turns away. They hold the broken where others let go. They bear witness to suffering, yet never lose faith, for they know that even the smallest kindness can turn the tide. Social workers see the very best and the very worst of humanity, yet still they choose love. Still they choose justice. Still they choose to believe that change is possible. To the ones who stay long after office hours, who bring dignity to the forgotten and hope to the hopeless, who fight battles unseen and hold space for healing, we see you, we honor you, and we thank you. For you are the angels among us, and though your wings may be invisible, your impact is undeniable.
That was beautiful.
I think I'm glad you said that because it sparked one more thing for me is a lot of your work is done after hours as well. And there's a lot of feelings that come into that from some of the folks that you serve. You have to carry that home at times. It's like an energy transfer, and you go home seeing and dealing with some of these things. So it's important for you all to have self-care, because I know I've been there. I've had to go to a couple of hearings and things like that in court, and it's really tough when you see a lot of the involvement with the feelings of the families being broke apart or anything that has to happen that way. So make sure self-care.
Oh, great. Oh, Helen, how about you? There you go. Thank you. Oh, that's great. Okay, wait, I gotta get that one. Okay, let me get one more just in case. Everybody smiling? Yes, they are. Oh, wait, I gotta get Brad back there. Okay, one more. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.